Hi, welcome to the 10-Minute Parent. My name is Pastor Don Boldt, and I'll be your teacher for the next 5 to 10 minutes. And this time around, we're going to be taking a little bit at behavior modification. Now, behavior modification, what's that? Well, it's a system built on something called behaviorism. Now, the Bible is not something that is built on the idea of behaviorism, but nor does it ignore it. Okay, there's some things that are worth noting here, and also some limitations that you need to recognize. Behavior modification works on this principle, and it's good for you to understand this, because basically, if you aren't doing some behavior modification with your children without even meaning to, trust me, your children are doing behavior modification on you. And so just to get this understanding, first of all behavior is motivated. Okay, nobody does anything very consistently without having some reason for doing it. All right? There's some reward that they're getting out of doing what they're doing. You think, I've got this child, and it's like they seem to be getting into trouble all the time. Well, what's the reward they're getting by being in trouble? It may just be getting time with you, and that may be something that they value over your approval. And so to understand motivation, why is my child doing this thing? And to begin to look at it. So basically, behavior modification all by itself teaches that if there's something that you want a child to repeat, you reward it. Okay? If there's something you want to make extinct, if you want to get rid of that behavior, you just don't reward it. Well, I think you're going to find you're going to have to go a little bit beyond that, and probably you're still going to have to punish bad behavior in order to get rid of it in quick enough order, especially if it's something that's like something that absolutely can't be repeated. A child throws a rock at his brother or sister or something like that. Obviously, we can't say, well, we'll just ignore the behavior and hope it goes away. I mean, those things have to be intervened upon and dealt with. But behavior modification, if you want to read a good book on this one, Dare to Discipline, New or Old, by James Dobson, a Christian psychologist who wrote about behavior modification, good book to read. But the downside of this is this, that although I think it's important for you to take the time and look at the motivations of your child's behavior and learn to work with that as a leader, be careful, because it can be a shortcut to dealing with the behavior without ever having really dealt with the heart. All right? You have a responsibility with your children to make sure that not just their behavior is formed, but that their heart is formed. All right? You want your child to love God. You want your child to love people, not just behave well with them, but actually love them. There's things that are deeper works that God has for you as a parent to be accomplishing in the life of your child. And behavior modification can be a shortcut. Like I say, it's very, very effective. A lot of books out there that are built on this concept. And sometimes when you're dealing with the troublesome behavior, it's worth a try. But to understand, I would encourage you not to shift your whole parenting model to one that just works around the idea of behavior. Jesus told us that these behaviors, these things that are sinful, the things that we as parents are wanting to get out of our children's lives and replace them with righteousness and goodness, that those things come from the heart. All right, and so we've talked in other videos about speaking to your children's heart, and that is kind of the concern here, is that if we just deal with the behavior and use behavior modification, we may be missing the opportunity to deal a little more deeply with some of the issues of the heart. And so with that, notice what's going on with your children. We used to talk about what God are they serving? What is it that they've decided is more important than mom and dad, more important maybe even than God in their life? And basically what it is that you look at the fruits of the Spirit, and a person who practices covetousness, it says it's like idolatry. All right, and so to understand that they place a value on something that, more than on you and obeying you. So identifying what that is and going after it, and this is kind of a Christian perspective on behavior mod, good thing, effective tool. But again, if I can just encourage you one last time, don't let that become your whole parenting approach. And I just encourage you to come back and get some more from the 10-Minute Parent.